Can I have my slides? Okay. Thank you very much. Very good evening. I'm really honored to be here today to say a few words in this very, very solemn ceremony. It's very, very nice to be here, actually. When I was asked to give a talk in this opening ceremony, I was wondering what am I going to say. But fortunately, the theme of your conference gave me some inspiration. So I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about each of the main keywords in your theme. So I'm going to say something on excellence in urology, and I'm going to touch on a bit about the dark times. I think you can't escape by not mentioning the recent COVID pandemic. And lastly, I want to link you the Sri Lankan Association of Urological Surgeons to our part of the world in Southeast Asia and the Urological Association of Asia. So first, I think for urologists, we can achieve excellence by doing innovations and inventions. We as a professions love to play with tools and toys. And we have a lot of tools and toys in urology, and we like to play with water. But to have more toys, we need to invent. We need to contribute to some of the new toys in the market. Here, I just want to share with you my personal journey. In one of the success stories, there are many failures I'm not sharing with you. I'm sharing with you one of the success story on my personal journey on innovations. And back by the turn of the millennium, about 20 years ago, we have a problem with prostate biopsy. And we're doing prostate biopsy by doing transrectal, and it's non-guided, it's pretty random. And we are missing a lot of cancers and potentially causing a lot of harm. Patients can get into sepsis, and some of them may die from sepsis. So the clinical questions and the clinical problem then was, can we do better? And very early on, this is about 20 years ago, we know and we recognize that we should get out of the rectum. We should be doing our biopsy using the other route through the perineal skin. And we would want to develop a device that can allow us to reach any part of the prostate. So it's a robotic positioning device that we set out to do. And we also, for the first time, want to target any lesions within the prostate. As you know, at that time, there wasn't any good imaging to identify early prostate cancer. Most of the advanced cancer has been diagnosed, so that those you can feel with your finger through the rectum and you can direct your needle there. It's not there anymore because of PSA. And we were the first to publish and attempting to use MRI spectroscopy, and it's outdated now, to try to identify lesions and use this robotic positioning device to try to target it. So we were first to publish in the Journal of Urology, and unfortunately it turned out to be not the great imaging mortality, but we tried, and we went on to develop the device and with our academia partner. So we developed a robotic device, and it went through multiple clinical trials and a few prototypes, and about 5 years later, the time was ripe for it to be commercialized so that more people can use it. And the last step of the innovations is about the IP, the patent, and also commercializations. And we are fortunate to have company in Singapore that pour a lot of money, and also with a bit of luck, now the system is in the market and is being used. I'll just show you a bit of advertisement here. So now being used in most part of the Southeast Asia, in Asia Pacific, Australia, China, Taiwan, Philippines, and also in Europe and the States. So this is a success story. I think we can achieve excellence by doing innovations and inventing some more toys for the urologists to play. So the dark times, we all have seen this. This is not unique to Singapore. I think we have seen this in Europe, in America, in other parts of Asia, the massive quarantine facilities because of COVID. So at the height of it, we don't have many doctors in the hospital. In fact, we send most of our junior staff, middle rank doctors, they're all in this big expo looking after patients under quarantine. And it's not that long ago, unfortunately. So what do? For senior surgeons in the hospital, we are there to hold the fort and continue to do emergency surgery and something that needs urgently to be done, like cancer surgery. But we do have a problem. The problem is we don't have beds. The beds that are available are all being taken up by COVID patients. And even you want to do elective surgery for cancer patients, there aren't any inpatient hospital beds. And there aren't that much work for the senior surgeon to do, and we all grow a bit bored. So boredom actually breeds creativity. Then we think, how can we do major surgery without the need of inpatient beds? I myself do a lot of robotic prostatectomy, and I thought maybe we should do it differently. The prostate is a retroperitoneal or extraperitoneal organ. We shouldn't be doing the prostatectomy through a transperitoneal route anymore. And it's not new, but it's just not widely practiced. So me and my team set out to develop our own method of doing extraperitoneal robotic prostatectomy. And if you do it extraperitoneally, patients are just like having a hernia operations, because this is exactly the same approach as doing laparoscopic hernia surgery. And true enough, the patients are very well. We have done a few publications on this technique, and they are available internet, and you are welcome to look it up. So this is a typical patient, a few hours after robotic radical prostatectomy, that usually stay in hospital for 3-4 days. A few hours later, they are ready to go home. And we have published this as a way of doing robotic radical prostatectomy, the ambulatory or day surgery robotic prostatectomy, and they go home with the catheter a few hours after surgery. And if they have their surgery late in the evening, they stay overnight. So our bottom, we also innovate. And also, we have to keep patients away from hospital, because a well patients on follow-up with PPH, for example, they are at home, they can't come to hospital, and how do we know that they deteriorate? So a few of our colleagues in the department, we innovate and we develop AI apps using your smartphone. Everyone in Singapore has a smartphone, even elderly patients, and they just pee into the toilet bowl and switch on the smartphone and to listen to the sound. And it's very well correlated with the actual Euroflow they're doing. And they can just send that a sound by WhatsApp to us, and we can just listen to it and think, maybe you're okay, continue with medications, or maybe you should come and let us have a look at you. So this is something that we innovate during the dark times. So it's also a time for us to innovate and improve on our healthcare, and something that is the new norm, actually. So I think with a bit of ingenuity, a bit of adaptability, and a bit of resilience, we can achieve excellence in urology through the dark times. I think the theme of your conference today is very, very apt indeed. So lastly, as a UAA lecturer, I want to do a little bit of introductions of Urological Association of Asia. It's formed more than 32 years ago in Japan. Currently, we have 26 member countries, and we have 5 affiliated sub-spec society. What is the link of SGH Urology with UAA? The link is with my predecessor, the first head of Department of Urology, Singapore General Hospital, Professor Foo Keong Tat. Many of you are quite familiar with his face. He's a key founding member of the association and still play a very active part. In fact, our department has been the secretariat for the association for many years, even until now. What's the link of SGH Urology and Sri Lankan Urological Associations? Obviously, it's through UAA, something like a UAA lectureship, like what I'm doing today, and also through exchange of fellows and exchange of people that come through us. And Dr. Was De Silva in the audience here has come and worked and trained with us many years ago. And in fact, we are peers actually and when we were doing training at that time. He's fondly missed, and he's always welcome and invited. We would like to invite him back to the department for our occasions. Okay, so a bit of announcement, UAA Congress for next year in Dubai in September, and just a little bit of advance notice, and 2024 we are going to have it in Bali, Indonesia. 25 we are going to have it in Taipei, Taiwan, all very fascinating venue, and of course you are more than welcome, and please put that in your calendar and come and join us. Also, next year, as a department in Singapore General Hospital, the first department of urology in Singapore General Hospital, we are celebrating our 35th anniversary. We are going to have a bit of scientific program over 2 days in November. That's exactly 1 year from now. Please do come and join us, and come to Singapore. And you're always welcome in Singapore. And with that, I thank you very much.